Hi everyone, I'm Christy Forsyth with Clarity by Christy. I am a soul therapist and an intuitive that connects with the angelic energy, and I help the helpers, the healers, and the light bringers of this world to live their most magical life. We are going to check in on this week's energy. So what we have going on with the energy, how we can best navigate it this week, and what you can expect throughout the week. So we're going to dive into that energy. First of all, hi everybody. Before I forget, Merry Christmas in advance for those of you who celebrate Christmas. And I don't know, I'm loving this energy that we have going on, as much as I feel like there's a lot that is coming up with this Venus retrograde energy, right? We have now officially, I talked about this last week, we have now officially entered into Venus retrograde as of the 19th. And so this is a 6-week period, right? We're not going to be done with this until the end of January. I think it's January 29th. And this is a period of time where we're taking time to reflect, where we're taking time specifically to notice what's coming up for us around relationships and finances specifically, okay? So you might notice during Venus retrograde, a lot of times we will find ourselves thinking about the past or thinking about relationships from the past, reflecting on those things, thinking about how we could have maybe done things differently, done things better, or what we would change. And the whole point is to use that information to allow you to do better moving forward, right? So we're reflecting on all of those things, but sometimes, a lot of times, we get help from the universe in regard to that, where we may have people from our past showing up into our experience during Venus retrograde, whether they're entering into our thoughts, whether they're entering into, showing up into our life, we're running into them, or showing up in our inbox, or whatever that looks like. There's this old energy or old relationship energy that is being stirred up here with Venus retrograde. So notice what's showing up for you. Or if it's not old connections, it can even be like old patterns, right? Where all of a sudden you're interacting with somebody and you're like, wait a minute, this like feels like stuff that I dealt with in the past, or stuff that I've already worked through. I thought that I already dealt with that, or whatever. So the whole point is to highlight what we need to understand moving forward in regard to connections in our life, whether that's in romantic relationships or friendships or family relationships. So notice what comes up for you. You may find like it's interesting to have the holidays during Venus retrograde, because this tends to be a time when we spend more time with our family, right? So notice what comes up for you. And it doesn't have to be a bad thing. It can be, like just things that are being highlighted for you. And I also feel like, for those of us that have been doing a lot of work on ourselves and a lot of work around relationships, because there's definitely been a lot of like relationship energy throughout the year, relationship work energy throughout the year, you may find that it's actually helping to enhance harmonious relationships that we have in our life. But notice what's showing up for you. Notice what you're being shown. Notice what you need to understand. And you might not quite get it right away. It can be kind of a cloudy energy. It can be kind of a confusing energy where you think that you're going one way and then it goes another way. And so pay attention to that. But what occurred to me when I was connecting with this energy is that we're really taking a look at what our negotiables and non-negotiables are in our life, especially in regard to relationships, but I think also in regard to like what we're willing to put our time and our energy into, and maybe even our finances, right? Where we maybe need to set some boundaries, like, no, I'm not willing to spend my money on that, or I'm not, I'm needing to make some changes in regard to how I'm approaching finances so that I set myself up for success moving forward. But a lot of times you're going to be shown where you need to make changes through this period. That's part of the beauty of the Venus retrograde, right? Is that we're going to be shown this stuff. So again, notice what's showing up for you, and notice like, where am I willing to work with people on things? Where am I willing to compromise? Where is it worth it for me to work on something with someone, or to compromise on a situation, and where am I not willing to do that? Where have I been settling, or where have I I feel like there's kind of an energy here that's being highlighted, like where have I gotten lost within some of the relationships in my own life where maybe I need to take a step back and make sure that my own needs are being met here. Do I need to come back to negotiate that a little bit better for myself? There's that energy of, for some people, and everybody's got their own stuff, right? But there is that energy of like making sure that you're getting what you need also within your connection. So many people that I connect with are the helpers and the healers, and we're used to just giving, right? And this is also about allowing yourself to be in that place of receiving and not getting lost in the shuffle or being something that somebody wants you to be, and at the same time ignoring who you actually are, what you really want for yourself, for your life, for your path. Or, we might be tested in terms of like, saying no when we want to say, or saying yes when we want to say no, and opportunities to say no to people and to set boundaries with people. So watch for these opportunities, but it's really about this exploration about like what in my life is negotiable and what's a non-negotiable. And if people are hitting against my non-negotiables, where do I need to set boundaries and where do I need to make changes? So I see us doing a lot of this work. Everybody's individual Venus retrograde path is going to look a little bit different, but I see us really exploring those questions and taking a look at that. So notice what's showing up for you. Notice what where you are feeling called to set some boundaries, and make sure that you're looking within. This is going to be a period of time where you might feel a little bit like you're moving a little bit slower. I definitely haven't felt that yet. Like today a little bit more than yesterday, but yesterday I actually felt like a huge surge of energy. But I did a lot of work on my own energy, so I think maybe that was just me. But I do feel like with these retrograde energies, it can slow us down a little bit. And the purpose is like to slow down, to listen to your soul, to receive your messages. So allow yourself to slow down and don't, I know like we've got a lot to do. I'm a mom at Christmas time, right? Like I've got a lot to do this week. And so I'm slowing down as best I can, and I'm being much more mindful of that, right? So we have to like still do the things that we need to do, but I also am very aware of like not pushing myself and not doing extra more than I need to be doing. Like don't be extra where you don't need to be, okay? Just being really mindful of that, and where do you need to just like take better care of yourself. Getting to bed earlier is a really good idea during these Venus retrograde. Just moving at a little bit of a slower pace, not burning yourself out. And I definitely feel like this is an energy that we need to be mindful of even as we move further on through January, because as we go into mid-January, we're going to be stepping into Mercury retrograde as well. So we'll talk about that when we get there, but definitely don't push yourself too hard. Don't burn yourself out too much, and let yourself take some time and some space to listen to your soul and to hear the messages that are wanting to come through for you, because these retrogrades serve as a pause in your life to show you the work that is left to be done here. Okay. And there's always more work left to be done, because we're hopefully anyway, always working on leveling up and growing and learning and developing ourselves. So let's take a look at the cards that we have here for the week. So the first card is the Justice card. Okay. So justice being served in some way. Sometimes this is my balance card as well. So making sure that we're doing everything that we need to put ourselves into balance. But I think for some of you, you're waiting for justice to be served or for something to be handled fairly. And this is that message that it will be. And I think that maybe we'll see some forward movement here this week with something where there is progress that's happening here. Okay. And this is like rest easy as long as you're on the right side of justice, as long as you are doing things from a place that feels good and right and is of the light. You're going to be just fine. So making sure that you are approaching things in a way that feels best and right to you. And your soul knows what's right, what isn't right, and where we're stepping out of our light. So being mindful of that. But I think like for most of us, we're in that place where we can see justice being served, and we can see that, or we can feel good about the way that we're approaching things. So be mindful of that this week. There also is there is an energy here of potential deception here with the Seven of Swords, right? Or somebody kind of doing something that surprises you, that you didn't expect from them, right? And understand that whatever becomes clear, and I do feel like this is in regard to connections or relationships that we have in our life, know that you're being shown that for a reason. Remember everything that I just said about Venus retrograde, right? So you're being shown for a reason. You're being shown who somebody really is. And so we might get to see glimmers of that. And I say this not to have you guys be paranoid about that. You're going to see, you're going to be shown, and your job is just to honor that and to understand that that's about that person's choices and actions and not necessarily about you, but you're being shown for a reason. And right on the other side of this card, we have the Eight of Cups, right? So this is us turning our back on something. This is us deciding that something isn't quite it for us. It's deciding that we want to search for that Nine of Cups rather than that Eight of Cups. We want a life that feels meaningful. We want connections in our life that feel meaningful. We want work that feels meaningful. We want to live our most authentic life. And so this is like that search for meaning, that search for what you actually deserve. And I think this Venus retrograde is really helping us to understand what we actually deserve. And so we are maybe being willing to turn our back on something that's just okay, understanding that even if we don't see it right away, the direction that we're heading on or the journey that we're heading on is bringing us to exactly what we want. But we have to trust, and we have to have faith, and we have to be willing to take a leap into that journey, right? We have the leap card. We have to be willing to take that leap of faith. Whatever that leap of faith is for you, it might be big, it might be small, but taking that leap in the direction of what feels meaningful, what feels good, what feels exciting for you, what feels like your soul is showing you. And you might be surprised by what that is for you. I feel like this Venus retrograde is really going to shake us out of our comfort zone and make us question the things that we thought were good in our life. It's really forcing a level up in a lot of ways again, where we're like, okay, but like now I'm ready for more in my life. I'm ready for a deeper connection. I'm ready for a more meaningful connection. I'm ready for a job that allows me to do something that feels more aligned for me. I'm looking for things that are more aligned for me in my life. I'm asking for that, and I'm willing to take action in the direction of that, whether that's a small action or a big action, just moving in that direction, okay? Then we have the Six of Pentacles in reverse. We're taking a look at what in our life isn't balanced, what in our life isn't reciprocal, right? So if we have connections in our life where we've been giving and giving and giving, or that's the pattern, giving too much of yourself and not receiving that back, I see us really getting clarity on that and starting to understand, like, I'm only going to be putting my time and my energy and myself into situations where I'm going to be receiving that back. I'm only going to be investing in things that are worthy of my investment, of my time, of my money, of my energy, of myself, right? So I think that that's going to be something that we're exploring this week and throughout this retrograde. Then we pulled the Seven and the Eight of Pentacles here together. Okay, so we're definitely working on some things. We're developing some things. It may not be moving at a rapid pace necessarily, or at a pace that you feel like you're happy with, but it is moving and it is progressing. And there is a message here of like taking a step back and recognizing how far you've come with whatever it is that you're working on, whether it's yourself or a project or a business or a goal, whatever this is, recognizing the progress that really has developed. And we're now in this process of working toward the Eight of Pentacles. For me is about mastery and really like taking it to the next level. So we're working on something and we're building something, and we're in this process of really taking it to the next level. So patience is required here, and it's going to be really important for us to allow the process to unfold in divine timing, in a divine way, but also to recognize that it is happening, it is moving, things are shifting. So allowing that process to happen, and what we're moving in the direction of is this Ten of Pentacles, right? I love the Ten of Pentacles. The Ten of Pentacles is happy family, happy home, stability, having the manifestation of the money, the things that you want. It's really a beautiful, beautiful energy. And this is what we're working toward. It's asking ourselves, what is going to make me happy? What is going to fill me up? What is going to bring peace and stability in my life? And we're working in the direction of that, and we're moving in that direction. So understanding that and continuing to make decisions that are aligned with that. Jessica says that she pulled a few and she pulled 10 and 8 of Pentacles. Yeah, you're right, in alignment with this collective energy. Last card that we have here is the Devil in reverse. This is about freedom. This is about setting ourselves free from our habits, from the habits that don't serve us, from the connections in our life that don't serve us, from patterns that don't serve us, whatever it is that's keeping us stuck. This is about understanding that you have all the power in the world to set yourself free. And you may or may not be able to do that overnight, right? But it's important to be taking those steps in that direction, to be taking those baby steps or those big steps in the direction of creating a life that you can be excited about, creating a life that feels free, financially, time-wise, that feels independent, that you feel free and independent within connections that you have in your life, free to be yourself, but also free to be within that connection. So there's so much that's happening here. I think a lot of like really big energy that we're working through, and a lot of big important insights that are going to be coming through for us on the other side of this retrograde. But I think like for now, allow the cloudiness, allow yourself to just ask questions and to explore, and to make changes where you feel called to make changes until you get yourself to the point of that 10 of Pentacles energy. Okay. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. If you guys like this video, if it resonates with you, make sure you like it, heart it, comment, whatever you want to do with that. I always appreciate the shares and the comments, and I always love to hear from you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're watching this on my YouTube channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button below with the bell so you can get notifications for all the videos that I'm sharing here on the channel. If you want to learn more about me, you can check me out at discoveryourawakening.com. That's where you can learn about me and my services. If you want to learn about my membership site that I have up, that is at claritybychristy.com. I'll make sure I put the links below. All right, guys, take care and have a good night.